Welcome back, all you kings, queens, and in-betweens to another Spring 2024 review episode with the podcast crew.
Whisper.
You said that so quietly, it's going to get cut out when I cut out the clips.
So I'm gonna whisper a little louder. Whisper ASMR.
Yes.
Why are we whispering?
Because today we are talking about Whisper Me a Love Song, which was one of my biggest recommendations for this season for new anime.
This was so good.
We have watched the first episode, which is all that's out so far. It is on High Dive, unfortunately. I'd rather it be on Crunchyroll, but it is on High Dive. And we've watched the first episode, and it's fresh in our minds, especially because Miguel literally just watched it like 20 minutes ago.
Just watched it.
And we're going to talk about it.
I would prefer we could sing about it, but I will do talking about it if we have to.
So, Miguel, what are your opening thoughts on Whisper Me a Love Song?
I think the biggest thing that I kind of caught off guard, not off guard, that's too strong, but that surprised me, and in a very good way, was the fact that huge K-On! Nostalgia. K-On! Was one of those animes that my wife had asked me to watch with her. She was a big fan of it. She has some figures of it. Adorable, wholesome, slice of lifey, just adorable girls making music kind of anime. So off the bat, when you get like, oh, this is the Light Music Club and everything, I was like, oh, this is really cute. And then as you know, like, oh, this is K-On! Like for a little bit older audience. But it maintains a lot of that wholesomeness, a lot of that sweetness, a lot of that innocence to it. So I like that a lot.
K-On! Is one of the anime that I've always wanted to watch and never gotten around to watching.
So
I think I watched the first episode a while back.
So good too.
And speaking of the music, that is one of the things that I was super excited for with watching the adaptation of Whisper Me a Love Song.
All right.
Yeah. And that is the music, because having read it in the manga, I'm just reading lyrics. Like, I don't know what the music sounds like. I don't know what their voices sound like.
Do it in your own head.
Yeah. So I'm getting to, from the very beginning, not the very beginning, because they kind of cut in and they don't play the song right away. They just kind of do that.
But from this episode.
Yeah. And then when she finally gets there and hears Senpai sing for the first time, you get to hear what she sounds like.
It was a great song.
Yeah, it was a really good song. And then you also get to hear her sing on the rooftop and that like little humming thing that she was doing. And just watching this as someone who has consumed the manga, it's not an experience I get very often. I don't usually read the manga of something before I've watched the anime.
Okay.
Like with Bloom Into You, I watched the anime first and then I read the manga. With this, I stumbled across it trying to find something that was like Bloom Into You, and I got recommended this.
You're on your GL hunt.
Yeah, and just like I was also recommended Donuts Under the Crescent Moon, which hasn't been adapted yet. You can watch reviews of it, though, on Ellentai, which is Elaine's channel.
Have a little link somewhere?
Yeah, I'll put a link somewhere.
Boom.
But in this one, getting to see the anime recreation of the manga panels was really cool.
I mean, I think that's what most people feel when they have like books that they've read. They see those books and everything else, but it's a little bit different when you have a medium that's already drawn. For me, it would be like comic books. Certain comic books that I've read, everything else, and you see that like one-for-one recreation in the movie. It's like, oh, I know that scene. Like, it definitely hits a little bit harder and makes you think like, okay, yes, that's something that I've been excited for. I want to see, and I haven't read the manga, but from your enthusiasm, from when you've described this to me, I am definitely excited for those who have read it, because you get to see those scenes recreated in the anime.
I like this anime in comparison, or this manga, this story, in comparison to some other GL and BL things that I've consumed, and even romance in general, just because I feel like they do a really good job in this story of fleshing out the extra characters. And obviously we haven't seen that yet in episode 1, but all of the characters that are featured that we've had touched on in this first episode, and even the ones that we get touched on in the opening ending themes, all get fleshed out and have individual stories. And I think that's a really good thing to have in your supporting cast.
I figured as much, but I was more so hoping, because in the ending scene, at least, to just kind of describe the ending scene, there are a few scenes where there's a girl with purple hair and she's crying. And goes, oh, why is she crying? And I'm like, I want to know, like, and I'm hoping they give her due, because she's a lot in the ending scene. And I really want to find out like how she ties into all this, what her role is, what happens. So I'm hoping they give her time, and like I said, I want to flesh it out a bit more to kind of appreciate these characters.
I feel like, given where the ending theme was focused around, I have a feeling on where season 1 is going to end.
Okay.
And that makes me kind of excited, because I think it's going to end on a good spot. And the fact that they do show that character, not a character that's mentioned in the first episode at all, like in the actual bulk of the episode, and doesn't get introduced for at least a little bit, I think it's really cool that that's the direction that they're going to go in. and seeing the dynamic between all of the characters, like I can't remember the names off the top of my head, but the redheaded one and
Kino.
that's the one in the band, the redheaded
No,
one.
no.
The rich
rich
one.
one,
Yeah,
yeah.
the rich one, and then the one who likes the rich one, the other blonde,
Yes,
not the
other
sister.
blonde,
But
blonde with a little fan.
they have such a great dynamic.
They seem like it. They're exactly. They have such a great dynamic. They're very fun together. Play off each other. Great.
And so what were your thoughts on the connection, like the immediate connection between the two main characters, Senpai and Kino?
So again, I went into this a bit not concerned, but I think I just went into it very carefully because my most forefront thoughts when it comes to a kind of music anime are going to be K-On!, which is super mega wholesome on one end, and Given. And so either way, I'm either going to be smiling or crying my eyes out. And from this first episode, I feel it's going to be like right in the middle.
I definitely think that that's a pretty decent way of putting it.
Okay.
Yeah. It's less heady than some of the stuff in Given.
Okay.
Like I feel like the characters in Given were very grounded in how they acted, and this is certainly going to have that cute girls doing cute things kind of aspect to it.
My
which,
favorite genre.
Yeah, which Given doesn't have because it's not cute girls doing cute things. It's cute boys doing cute things.
Yes.
But it also is not something that leans away from the emotional impact.
Okay.
The thing that I really love about this manga, and I remember reading it and talking to Elaine about it while I was reading it, was like the characters actually talk about stuff, which is amazing. Like they actually have issues and they talk about the issues and they don't just drag on for the entire story because nobody wants to have a conversation.
And I appreciate because they kind of even the first episode they're like, hey, okay, so you like her, so what are you gonna do about it? And just like let's talk it out as your friends, let's support, let's figure it out. You're gonna do this, and I think that was like nice to see something very straightforward. We're not gonna not talk to each other and purposely make a difficult situation even more convoluted. Like no, we're gonna just get it out and like this is what it is. We're moving forward. So I do appreciate that. I have some theories before I kind of go into this. So my theory, based on absolutely nothing, so is the purple haired girl was the band member from before who said she couldn't show up, and she was romantically involved with the blonde who set them up. Who the blonde with the longer hair. Yes, the sister. That's my guess. Let's find out if I'm right. But aside from that theory, I think I really like this. I really like this because it was really sweet. I think off the bat, there was something in the way that the dialogue was for Kino, the girl who falls in love. Something about her dialogue that made me kept thinking and feeling, I don't think she loves her. So either A, she's so like empty-headed, she doesn't realize what she said. She doesn't realize what she's saying. She doesn't realize what love means. Or B, she means it in a different way than how she's saying it completely. And I was like, oh, I guess we'll see. And then her friends kind of, now this is now Yuri. Her friends are kind of like, oh, so you like her, right? So you're gonna like her, you're gonna touch her. And I'm like, man, that's a lot of pressure for somebody. Like, okay, fine. So it all came to a head, and then she was like, oh, she loves me like as a fan. Crap. So I kind of like, they kind of force someone to come to a realization about themselves and about someone they like, and now it completely just doesn't matter at all. But she takes it in stride, and she's like, maybe I can have her fall in love with me. So let's work on this. And she moves forward, which I thought was very cute, very sweet. Heartache is going to be bound somewhere. I already see that happening, but I'm here. I'm in this car. We're on the highway. We're going down this path. Let's figure it out.
You get this setup where you had the ridiculousness of the love at first sight statement, which is just said with such a purity and genuine feeling behind it that she's willing to confess it right to the person the first time she says it. And I love when she tells the friend and she's like, wait, you really said that? And like she has like that weird
it's
face.
almost like a naivete about it.
She certainly is a like naive, genuine individual as the series starts, and there's a lot more examining of her views on things and on emotions and her impact on the people around her as the story progresses. And getting to see that in anime form with voice acting is going to be really good. And getting the setup of Yuri basically saying, you might not love me this way now, but I'm going to make you love me.
And I appreciate that Yuri, as long as it doesn't get creepy as many animes sometimes do, I appreciate that Yuri was like, I acknowledge and understand that you don't love me like this. I do, so I'm going to fight for you. Not that she's going to force her, but she's like, I'm going to fight her because I really do love you. I thought that was sweet. It's like, you know what? She's not giving up. She's not going to be just like broken heart. Oh my gosh, she doesn't know what I'm going to do. It's like, hey, sometimes love comes with challenges. This is her challenge. I appreciate that, Yuri. Right now, I am rooting for Yuri big time.
I also feel like there's a lot of other shows out there in this genre, other genres that are similar, romance, BL, GL, these kind of shows that could have taken what resolved in this first episode and stretched it out for 5 episodes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And there's so many shows, even like not even anime shows where so many things go wrong because people just didn't have a regular conversation. They are talking in vague terms or being unclear with their intentions. They're just like, well, I'm assuming he means this. And it just makes things so like, guys, just 2 seconds have been resolved. And I feel like here they did that. I'm like, oh, okay. And that for me, maybe overanalyzing it, shows that the show itself has faith in its plot and what it's going to do. Like, we don't need to waste time on that. There's more important things coming down the line. We need to make way for that coming up. So I was very happy about that.
I'm super happy that you're enjoying it, that you liked the first episode. Do you have any other closing thoughts?
I think the last thing I would just kind of throw in there, and we had touched upon this with Given and with Love Stage, which is, this seems to be, for all intents and purposes, obviously it's a GL, and there's these same-sex pairings, but they're not making a huge deal about that aspect. They say, hey, there's a person I love, I'm in love with them, moving forward. So I think it's important for representation, but I feel like they're not making this like, oh, by the way, these are just 2 specifically gay, teens, or like, no, these are 2 teens who are in love. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, I will back that up as well, because throughout the whole story, it never is a plot point. The I like a girl kind of thing.
This horrible.
I mean, there's a little bit of it, like when examining emotions and stuff, but not where it's an obstacle. Mm-hmm. And there's also, I will say, it's very refreshing. At no point in the story is there ever non-consensual anything.
Oh my God.
This is the only thing that I can think of out of the media that I've consumed in the GL, BL, where there is not this weird, problematic consent kind of issue.
Good job, Whisper Me a Love Song. Good job. The bar was really low.
The bar was really low. Just have everything be consentful.
Yeah.
And you're good.
Thanks.
You got
Appreciate
there.
it.
Something that we always hope we have your consent for is this anime review content here on the channel.
Hey, you give us a thumbs up, we know you're good with it.
So like the video, give us that thumbs up. Let us know that you like all the stuff that we're doing. Comment down below and let us know if you are watching Whisper Me a Love Song. If you are watching anything else from the spring 2024 anime season, let us know all of those things. Anything that we haven't posted any content on that you want us to review.
Yeah, and obviously let us know what you thought of Whisper Me a Love Song so far. If you got a chance to watch it, what your thoughts are. Are you excited for the music? All those wonderful thoughts that you have, please go ahead and share them.
Let us know why Crunchyroll is better than High Dive. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of this content going forward, and ring that bell so you know what's up. We'll catch you in the next one.
Take care.